all the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to Yes Massive Wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Jody, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, man.
Bringing communities together around the world. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. All your favorites from the 60s through to today.
Organizer to my take by persevere. I said them you had me clear. I'm driven, there's no fear. The foot to switch my gear. Do not use on police here. Switch things to switch my gear. I'm corporate to my care. Scare. We go here and there, scare. We go there and here. We go banana, disappear. Here, we don't have to stop. So the bananas are chop on the stairs. After this, don't put on traffic. Nico, my money, I got no fear. I'm just fine, nasikia fave flavor lazima utasikia shinsia na katisia niko na cheka kwa kingdom mindo kisa the kingdom so big kwa kingdom you step from the body you need not the adios amigo can't touch my machine adios amigo adios adios amigo bye adios amigo uko haina magugu peli son magugu adisia shinsia na katisia pull up my big trucky I'm from my mama mia organizer to my take by persevere. I said them you had me clear. I'm driven, there's no fear. The foot to switch my gear. Do not use on police here.
Yes, karibuni sana family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon. Good morning, whatever the time is on your end. 6 minutes to 1 p.m. right here in the 254. What's the time on your end? Yes, karibuni sana to yet another beautiful discussion of the Pan-African Bliss Show. Go by the name JOBY. Yes, and this is the media of the 21st century. The Black Hot Fire Network radio station. Yes, big quick shout out to everyone live with us, and that is on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on TikTok, on Twitter, on Rumble. Everyone live on the show page and on our radio app. Karibuni sana. I hope you guys had a beautiful night, and of course, looking forward to a beautiful day. Personally, I can't complain. Had an amazing time right here yesterday with Kamlesh. Oh my God, we laughed. Shout out to TikTokers. Oh my God, TikTokers are crazy. We were going through some videos and the comments and we laughed our lungs out. I've not laughed like that in such a while. But anyway, karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing, and of course hope you're ready for the day. I'm ready for the day personally, looking forward to see what it has in store. And of course, what do we have coming from the African continent, including where we know today South Africa, of course, is holding its election, and that this has been the long-awaited, anticipated election, and that we're looking forward to see who's going to be the next puppet, of course. Personally, I'm really waiting to see if they're going to do the DRC Congo way, returning Cyril Ramaphosa into presidency, or are we going to see someone else take it? Because bet me sure it's not going to be Julius Malema, of course. It's not going to be the so-called fake freedom fighter, because I don't see him as a freedom fighter. Why is it been for the last 30 years that African people, Black people in South Africa to be specific, have been still crying to being on the bottom and not being the most favored, but the white being the most favored? It is crazy. And of course, we shall be talking about that as our major conversation. I'll be sharing a couple of videos of what is happening currently as we talk, we can see so many people have turned out. Let me try share my screen of what is happening right now. But of course, on other conversation, I'll be sharing also a video coming from, that is the Malian, let me see, my screen has frozen. You guys can see me. Okay, my screen froze. I don't know if you guys can hear me or see me, but I'd love to know from your end. Okay, let me check what's happening as we get to continue. It seems like Ramaphosa had me. It's like this woman had me. Let me check what's happening. My screen literally froze. My laptop has frozen. So let's see what's happening. Damn, okay. So apparently I see myself, I see I'm very active on YouTube, but my screen is frozen, so I can't move or do anything. So you guys are gonna have to give me time so you can see what's happening. I can see very active on YouTube, but my screen is frozen. But yes, that is our major conversation for the day as we wait to see what's gonna be happening right here, because I don't know what's happening. And of course, we shall also be talking about Bola Tinubu, who has marked a year since he was selected as the Kun. Normally, according to the article I'm reading, is that Nigerians are so used and fond of talking about football, soccer. But it seems like since Tinubu got into power, people are not talking about soccer anymore, but literally looking on how they can put food on their table and how things are going to literally transition in terms of economic, which is actually the cost of living has gone super, super high. And also we shall be talking about taking us back where we remember that was on February. We did witness Nigeria going back to actually dirty rice. That is the bad rice that we're not supposed to be consuming because of the cost of living and because they can't afford to buy or acquire food. What is also happening on this other end? My screen is back. You guys can see me. Kindly let me know if you guys can see me. I see Mzales in the house, Derek Askew in the building. My screen is back. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. And of course, as we get to continue, she'll also talk about Haiti, currently new selected prime minister of the country, and which is highly believed that the country is going to be returning in order. And personally, I have my ranting about it because there's no way, no how. But anyway, Karibuni is another music. And of course, as we come back, I want to share with you guys what is as we talk in South Africa. People are there have turned out, of course, to vote. You can see we have a queue of people, and those who are being, interviewed, including white people are the ones talking, literally, and some mulattoes. This is just so crazy. And this is why I am literally president of this country. I'm ready for the drama. Ready for the tea to see who's literally going to be the next one. But of course, we're going back to the music. This is mine by Gets, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this amazing jam. I'll be coming back with a quote of the
In a minute, I would have shown you my album before, but now you can't get a preview to this finish. I love seeing you in the flesh, or depth, never come and meet you in the spirit. Arms open, even around you, heartbroken, you want a cup of tea, so you don't spill it. We used to watch Freeview and bill it. They wanna do Netflix and chill. We wanna do get rich and build. You carry on watching the stocks, while them get watching man Richard Mill. Different still, Gucci don't mean no the got. I still ain't been no Nova Cuff, got 6 zeros out different way. Come see me, if you don't wanna come see me, if you don't wanna come see me, let it show. I'm easy, lay down when you come see me, when you don't wanna come see me, let it show.
Mzales, yes, niko na furaha sitadanganya. My soul is just happy. I don't know why. I've just been in the right state of mind lately, and I'm learning a lot, especially about myself, energy, and just a lot of things literally. And I'm at peace. Just that's all.
Drop people off in the summertime with the roof off. They used to eye money in the night shoebox. Used to get sent shop with the coupons. Now the gal wanna know where I get the keys from. Who's got a cute account but soon gone? Who sponsored the lips, the batty and boo job? I got old school things and landlines. I got new school things on hold. I got man's favourite model on standby, but my usual things on loan. Man had the plan that backfired. Now I got beautiful things on.
Yes, for me it's just simple. I'm wishing you guys a beautiful day.
Yeah, I usually
Have an amazing one. If you are at work, have an easy one. Enjoy what you do. If you don't, kindly leave that space. Is not meant for you. You need to be where you deserve to be happy, manze. You need to be in a space when you come to work, you are excited, you feel good, you know, you're having an easy day, enjoying what you're doing, not feeling like a slave, manze. Yes, that is Gets With Mine, playing right here on the Black Fire Network radio station. And of course, welcome back. This is the Pan African Bliss Show. To everyone who's just tuning in for the first time, shout out to Nashwell, shout out to Mr. Black Fire, shout out to Mzale, shout out to Derek Askew, and everyone listening there silently. I see y'all. Kindly hit that like button. I see y'all on YouTube. I see y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe if this is your first time right here. In case you're just tuning in and wondering what is on my screen, that is the current situation right now we can see happening in South Africa. Of course, today is the day, the D-Day we've been waiting for. And of course, they are supposed to be choosing their next puppet. We're looking forward to see, of course, if it is Ramaphosa who's going to be the next president, or if it's going to be Julius Malema. I'm personally looking forward to see who's going to be the next president. But expect not Julius Malema to be a president, because number one, not only is he a fake freedom fighter, you know, a fake opposition leader, a paid coon to just keep South Africans on the hope. Because again, the question is, why is it for the last 30 years that still South Africans with the ANC party that has never made a movement or, you know, made a change for the South African people still on the bottom, because they are complaining. But let's get to hear a little bit of this as we get started. But I see Mzales and Suma preach, sister. Kwenda huko, karibu sana. Shout out to National Asema, I love the way umepaka hiyo gloss. Thank you. Oh my God, I literally even have no makeup on my face, I'm just glowing. But thank you, I appreciate you. And shout out to also Keith in the house and to everyone tuning in. Let's hear this as we get started with the conversation of today.
No flashing trailers.
No flashing toilets in South Africa. God damn,
Truly.
that's the first thing I had to hear.
That's why our people must vote
God.
African Congress for Transformation Act.
Okay, just speaking about the party on its own, then I understand there have been some challenges in the PEC structures, particularly I think in Mpumalanga, if I'm not mistaken. You'll correct me if I am. What's the state of the party at the moment? There have been claims of maladministration in the
The
party.
cameraman sleeping on his job here.
Of existence, claims of maladministration, that the orders come from top down, and that there's no negotiation. Is it in a bad state, or do you?
Yes, but that is what is happening. We don't hear the British accent, you know, or whatever accent that is, because that is no South African. I don't think that is South African accent. I kind of don't believe that, but we shall be going back to that as we get to share a bit of a video of what is happening. But of course, I want to start with what is happening in Nigeria. You talk about leadership. We see African countries every now and then. I don't know how many African countries currently right now, apart from South Africa, that are still going to undergo election this year. I'm not certain, but I bet there are some. But last year we did see Nigeria, which did take it to the poll. It was on February, if I'm not wrong. And it's been a year actually and a few months. And the question that is on the table today is Nigeria on the right track after a year of Tinubu being selected as the president of Nigeria? We've seen so many, of course, issues. Number one, abduction being on the rise instead of reducing. We saw also Buhari, the previous president before Tinubu, say he left the country at a better state, more than it was. That was 15 years after his leadership or ruling dictatorship. And apparently the country has been left actually in a very devastating situation. And according to that, to understand it, it was left in a devastating situation, and that the people never been. Last week, we did see an ex-powerful prime minister who was arrested in Nigeria because of links to corruption, links to is money leading to corruption, and also is property and so much. And that questions also a lot to also the president. If the prime minister actually was arrested of corruption, what about the president? You're very close to the president. So what about you? I believe the president should also be checked highly and very well. But what is happening in Nigeria? They're saying that Nigerians love football, but it's no longer the main topic of the conversation for many. Apparently, I didn't know actually Nigerians love soccer, but it seems like it's an African thing. On the first anniversary of the Bola Tinubu presidency, Abubakar Sheka, who sells bread on the streets of the northern city of Kano, says his customers' primary focus is now on what they can afford to buy. He says, and I quote, "Football talk is only sweet when the tummy is full. But at the moment, a lot of Nigerians are finding it difficult to feed, which makes people always talk about the economy when they meet." He's a 36-year-old. He has also noticed the fewer people are buying bread as the price has more than doubled since last May, reflecting the increase in the cost of flour, cutting off of many families from one of the country's basic staples. Inflation coupled with the failing value of the currency, the naira, and has been the major theme of many for the past 12 months. And though Nigeria has been hit by the same harsh rest of the world, some of what has happened is a direct result of the policies of President Tinubu, sworn in the office exactly a year ago. That was today, a year ago. So the elections that was on February, we remember, on the 29th, if you can remember. And then he was sworn in on May, a few months after that. Though Nigeria has been hit by the same harsh economic, this is actually the rest of the countries. But when you talk about Africa as a whole, we've seen Kenya, we've seen Zimbabwe, Zambia, so many African countries. The rest of the world is actually facing economic issues. But when you talk about leadership, which I have an amazing video which actually explains why, and shout out to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, why Africa is at this point. Because we've dealt and we continue working policies who are putting harsh laws on us, dictating. This is why Africa is on the bottom. They say that the new president, who is 71, make that make sense. My own grandpa is country. The new president, who is 71 at the time, he has won a bruising election with 37% of the votes, a result that has been disputed in the court, and his task was to bring the country back together. He also faced a challenging financial situation, also with concerns about kidnapping and corruption. And the lofty sentiments on Inauguration Day let slip a major announcement. He said, fuel subsidy is gone, he told Nigerians, without giving a timetable for when the policy will be in place or any measures that caution the inevitable blow. And which makes me question again, and shout out to Keith for sharing. It's crazy how such a country, which is the biggest, largest production of oil, if I'm not wrong, probably correct me, but I believe Nigeria is really very blessed in terms of oil. This country produces oil in large amounts, benefits the rest of the world, but you have to literally buy oil from other countries to the point where you have to subsidize the amount of fuel. I think that makes sense to me. I own the factory, but I have to suffer because despite me, actually the factory being on my base, I don't control it. It's here, but whatever it's inside, I don't control it. Then how comes I'm the owner of this? How comes, like, I should leave the country and leave it to someone else. Let them own it, because there's no way this is in my country and you're telling me that I'm in poverty. So I want to share this video very quickly and to align literally why we have poor leadership in Africa. And again, I want to give a quick shout out to Ibrahim Traoré, all the three juntas in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso for doing an amazing job. But what I didn't understand on this is that, so this is a Malian, I don't know who he is, but he's a Malian someone. I don't know who he is specifically, but we're going to understand on the video. So he's explaining why they left ECOWAS to form Alliance Sahel in Rwanda. But the points.
Let me end by sharing with you 10 lessons from our experience. As they said in the previous panel, no African country should outsource its security to foreign military. That is our responsibility, and no one will help us. No one genocide. You have to deal with it yourself.
When you talk about the genocide, I've been learning a couple of things about the genocide in Rwanda. If this was very well organized by the foreign policy, the foreign powers, and our very dear own people in this continent, then there's still some details we have missing. But the point, again, we focus on the point. It's not about really that poor leadership and why Africa is on the bottom.
Africans, we need to deal with our problem and not to outsource our security to foreign military, which always have its own interests. Second lesson, Africa should develop its own narrative, be it on terrorism. Even on the Sahel, the previous panel was developing the Sahel, but even the conception of the Sahel now is a Western conception. We know the Sahel is 11 countries from Senegal to Somalia. But when they talk about Sahel now, they talk about Mali, Burkina, Niger, and Chad, which is not the case. And second, they see Sahel as a problem. But why these countries are fighting for the Sahel? Because their interests, their geostrategic interests, their resources. Even you are from the military, we know the water will be one of the key resources that we'll be fighting for the upcoming 50 years, more than the oil. But we know the underground water resources in the Sahel are huge, and people are looking for them. Even the conception of the terrorism, I don't have time to develop. Maybe when I receive question, I will come to that one as well. The third lesson is we need to be mindful of the connection between certain Western powers and terrorist groups. In the Sahel, I think they are very involved in the constitution and the formation of many of the terrorist groups.
Hegelian dialectic, we talk about it, where they are the ones who fund all these wars, terrorism, the weapons, and they still are the ones to come up with the solutions, Hegelian dialectic, literally, that is what he's explaining.
I would say even some powers have the remote control, because when they decide terrorists will strike in this country, it will come. I think that one is, Mali has even a case before the Security Council.
Exactly. Karibu sana, Keith.
Not the sounding Joby. Who's this moron talking?
This moron is a Malian. It's called Adulai. I don't know who is a Malian. I don't know who from.
Okay.
He's talking about literally why there was a formation of Alliance Sahel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Why are you calling him a moron?
I don't know. I just said I don't know what he's talking about. He sounds like a moron. I don't know. Let me take back my judgment for a minute.
Wow. Just wow. How do you invade this? How do you invade my show and then you call someone a moron for no reason?
I'm not sure. Moron, imbecile. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what he said. I don't know what he's saying.
Security Council for this type of link. Fourth lesson, I think, is to take responsibility of our own failure. Everything is not the responsibility of those powers. Where we have the responsibility, we have to admit we have our own issues. We need to go into it and accept it. The fifth is to provide our own solution. As they said in the previous panel on the economic issues, I think for the security, for the defense of our country, we need to provide our own solution. And also, the sixth lesson is we have to make sure that we are in the position to finance military expenditure based on our own resources, because this is the price of the sovereignty. The seventh lesson is to transform our regional organization and to establish mechanism whose leadership is truly African and shelter from foreign interference. We have established between Mali, Burkina, and Niger, the alliance of the Sahel states. Maybe in the question, if I have time, I can develop this new dynamic to count on ourselves to have an organization which is not funded by others, where the leadership is on our own, and we are also working for the interests of our people. 8, the political and institutional reform are also necessary in rebuilding our states. Following on the previous panel, I think security problems are mainly and foremost economic problems. We need to transform our economies to benefit the majority of our people, the majority being women.
So where they at? Are they in Rwanda? Where they at?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I didn't understand because this is a video I bumped into when I was doing my research and I paid attention to what he was specifically saying. But he's explaining why they left ECOWAS to form Alliance Sahel States in Rwanda.
Yeah, what he's saying is correct, but if they're in Rwanda, doesn't make any sense to be. It doesn't make any sense to be giving this conference in a goddamn state that's causing genocide on the continent. That's idiotic. Like I said, these moronic Negroes, these imbeciles, are dangerous. There's no more. You can just say, okay, I'm trying to get free, but let me go to a country that's also bombing and enslaving and killing other Africans. See, this kind of shit ain't gonna work no more. You know, these African men have fucked the continent up. We're gonna be honest. These African men, these imbeciles, have kept Africa fucked up. These morons. So shout out to that Nigerian lady that she right. These fucking African men, they weak, they backward, they fucked up and stupid. Why would you go to Rwanda and have a conference on freeing yourself when Kagame's a whole puppet and dropping bombs on innocent people in the Congo? That wouldn't even make any sense. You would decline that. That'd be stupidity. You don't know what the hell's going on in the rest of Africa? If you don't, then shut the fuck up and learn before you leave your country then. You know, all this I don't know shit. Hey, let me go ahead and get my little conference about me. No. That's why it's like the only leader I want to hear from is Ephraim Touré's. I don't want to see him know what the hell's going on. That's the young man that puts it all succinct of what's going on. Kept in slavery. These people have come in, stolen our resources, made us imbeciles to education, stealing resources, put these fucking, you talking about, reason why you got these terrorists all in Africa because the white man put them there. Why you ain't got no terrorists running around Europe? Got no terrorists running around Abu Dhabi. And the war in Sudan is backed by the no good white hair and the white man because they're the same people. And I was showing Leslie on Airtime's show. These are the same people now classifying themselves as Arab. These are white people. They're no goddamn Arab. They come in, take African identity, call themselves us, like the fake Jew.
On this, basically, I don't think whatever that we have an Alliance Sahel states in Rwanda because I didn't know about this. This is actually something new to me. Whether we have it or not, we've not been seeing it work the same way we've seen Niger and Burkina Faso working. But the reason why I'm sharing this video and why I connected this with what is happening in Nigeria, poor leadership. We know poor leadership is the #1 cause of why Africa is on the bottom today.
It's not poor. It's not leadership, it's criminals. They put criminals in charge. Not poor leadership, criminals. Nigeria is a criminal state controlled by criminals.
Or I kick you out of my show. You let me cook. You let me cook. Okay.
Ahead,
I'm saying I understand very well it's because of poor leadership. And that is why I go back to what you just explaining. We have weak men who are being chosen as leaders. Okay. Because if you really did have upright men like Ibrahim Traoré, you stand to your ground, whether it means you dying, because you mean this is I don't want to be ruled around. I want to make my own decision. I control my resources. I literally make things move, not your policies to make things move. So I agree with the fact that #1, not every African man is weak. Let's underline that. Not every African man is weak.
Well, Ibrahim Traoré is not weak. The majority are weak. The majority are weak.
And that's why they're going to this majority, including like the Rutos, the Uhurus, the Kenyattas, the Tinibus, the old ones, because the young
that's what I'm talking about, Joe. I'm saying you got criminals. They're not leaders. They're criminals. They're not. You call them leaders is giving too much credit. They're criminals. So Ruto is a criminal. He should have been at the Hague. He's supposed to be locked up. He's a criminal.
Yeah, so what he's trying to explain is he's explaining #1 from where he understands very well even what is happening in the West, in Congo. All this is literally planned. It's a Hegelian dialectic. These people actually fund the terrorism. They come back, they want to help us. And until we realize all this and stand up and start forming our own military, funding our own military, then we still going to keep on depending on the same people we're complaining to about as they make the situation worse. He's talking about the benefits of
that's true.
As a country, what their focus is. I don't know where basically is. I think I'm going to do much more research on this extent to see if we really have an alliance Sahel in Rwanda and who is it. But talking about where women need to be benefiting, children need to be very well educated. I'm not talking about British Western type of education. He's talking about literally everyone benefiting in the country, which has been not the focus of so many leaders in Africa.
None of them at all, Joey. None of them at all. None of them at all.
Islands, take their children to the UK, to study, and that's it. You keep on complaining about school fees. They don't know about that. Okay. So that is what he's explaining here.
This is a national security issue for us. The last issue is to get Africa voice, a weight, and to make sure that Africa sits at the table. The previous panel was saying that Africa should be on the table. No. Africa should be at the table, but as my friend Lumumba said, not as a menu, but Africa has to be the cook. It has to be an active cook also to bring the experience of Africa at the table. So I will just...
Exactly, because it's always Africa at the... We always the discussion every single time. Africa this, Africa that, Africa this. When will we be on the table? When will we be? Not at, but on... Is it at? At the table.
At the table. Yeah, you're on the table, but you're not at the table. You're on the table to be carved up. You're not at the... Because everybody, Joe, this is the honest truth. Hurt your feelings. It's the honest. Everybody see the African man as an imbecile, Joe. He's an imbecile. That's what they see. You know that I gotta go back to that video you showed of that Rwandan. That's what the world sees the African man as, that moron, that imbecile you showed in Rwanda, imbecilic. You had the ex-French financial officer said, "How dare these dumbass niggas wake up?" He said, "You're supposed to be ruled," and so not the general. He said, "Let's go and conquer these imbeciles again." He said, the finance minister France said, "Hey, if we don't stop these imbeciles from overturning these countries, we're going to be impoverished, and our kids are going to be working for them in the next 20 years." Yeah, because Africa's wealthy. He just said it's random. Imbeciles and criminals. Like you said, you must get real. You got to get real education there. You got to get rid of all that goofy religious shit. You got schools teaching religion. You ain't got no research and development. So research and development makes you make real weapons, Joby, real military. You got real minds.
Exactly. And that's why we were discussing, that was on Monday when I was sharing about a couple of videos, including from where my dad comes from, where the exploitation of resources is happening, but our government calls this illegal. We have so many mining sites that are labeled illegal. But you want to tell me, how is an illegal operation continuously has been happening for the last 29 years? Okay? People go sell the gold. Who is benefiting from this gold? Because I get only $100.
It's only legal. It's only legal if the white man comes in and gives the criminals a piece of it. If the white man gets complete control of it, gives the criminals a little piece of it. Shut up here, nigga. We're gonna be in power. Yes, master. Then it's not illegal, Joe. If the people do it, it's illegal.
Exactly. It is so wrong.
Stop there. Maybe with the questions, I will be able to develop some of these issues. But we have first and foremost to count on ourselves to tackle the security challenges of Africa.
Exactly.
You see, and the reason why, Joey, they don't want them at the table. They imbecile. You see why? Even though Rudo's a puppet, you see why they treated a puppet with so much disrespect and disdain. They don't respect you. They think you're a moron. You know, when you at the table, you niggas are supposed to be at the table. You can be under the table. You can be on the table. But at the table, hell no. Go ahead, Joe.
It's crazy. It is crazy, but they have allowed the disrespect, you know. Personally,
Yes,
there's no you're
Joby.
gonna
Yes, Joby, they have.
there's no you're gonna disrespect me once and not call you out. I'm gonna tell you you did this and this is wrong, okay? This is wrong, and you repeat it. And I'm either kicking out or you kicking out. It's either both ways, you know. It's a two-way thing. You go out or you go, right?
I wish the African men had as much passion, had as much non being a coward as you have. Most of them are cowards. Treated all fucked up. I told you he's gonna get disrespected when he took his ass over here. So they're gonna disrespect his ass. Watch. Go ahead, Joe.
You know, I think number one, they have failed to be accountable because I think from number one, what if you just said yes? I did genocide people in 2007. How many years in jail am I gonna get? I'm being accountable. But because you said no, you wanna prove your innocence, they wanna defend you. This is why I believe Ruto is being used and dragged around. Why
is he being used? Because genocide, Joe, he's locked up for life. He's never getting out. So of course he's being used. If we're gonna let you out, you don't got any power, you don't got no military to stop him from lock. Remember, they said the quiet part out loud. They said the ICC and the ICJ were created for the African puppets, not us. You're not supposed to be charged with Benjamin Netanyahu or no Americans or no white people with crimes. We built this shit for the dumbass, imbecilic Africans who get out of line. Because we the ones make them do these atrocities, and if they don't follow our rules, then we charge them with the atrocities that we made them do. These courts are created for they dumbasses. They don't got no power to stop us. So Ruto is a criminal. He's supposed to be locked up for life. They let him out, Joby. So they knew they were gonna make him president. Crazy. He's doing their bidding, like you said.
It's crazy, but shout out to him. Shout out to Ruto,
Minister of Defense and the RDF College for extending this invitation to us. And of course, I convey to you greetings from Colonel Assimi Goïta, the president of the Transition of Mali. I'm here with
this is slick. Kagame slick ass to the Europeans holding these conferences, giving his ass cover as if he's not a tyrannical despot. See, this is what they do. This is slick. This is playing 3D chess, or like George Joby said, the Galilean dialectic. This makes Rwanda, Kagame, like he's interested. Can you hear me? You lost me?
If it's
you lost me?
It's my internet. Can you saying?
Can you hear me?
I lost you for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I can hear you.
this makes Kagame like he's a Pan-African, but he's not. Like he's concerned about the Sahel, he's not. He's just a criminal with the shit he's doing in the Congo.
But we can hear,
cover.
We can hear him introducing himself. He's from Mali.
For the transition of Mali, I'm here with General Bigoïta of Defense and the RDF College for extending this invitation to us.
He's from Mali, I'm saying, but they invited him to Rwanda to speak at some goopy conference. That's why it says in Rwanda. They invited him to Rwanda to speak at that goopy conference.
You too.
From Colonel Assimi Goïta, the president of the transition of
They
Mali.
should have declined.
I'm here.
We don't go to war criminals conferences. See, if you power, that's what you do. We don't, and you announce it publicly. We don't go to war criminals conferences who are killing other African people. You don't do that. See, that's what you do. Then you put egg on Kagame's face. Then he'd have to respond. You're a war criminal. Mali's pay was war criminal. I don't do nothing. That's what you're supposed to do as a leader. We don't go to conferences backed by war criminals and leave it at that. Go ahead, Joe.
I agree with you completely. I do agree with you.
Brigadier General Aluboy Jara, who I hope could complement me because I will be speaking maybe at the 30 feet high, and maybe we hope he can take us down to 30 feet so it can provide really concrete reflection. I also want to own all the issues that have been addressed by my brother Vincent Biruta right now. So it's he talked on some of the issues that I would want to address. So allow me not to come to those one again and to repeat him. I would like to address the topic of the security challenges in Africa by sharing some reflections from our own perspective. I want also at the end to share some lessons that Mali has learned throughout the crisis we have gone through for the past 10 years and so. In terms of the challenges, I don't want to go into the detail. I think there are many. They vary from one country to another, and some of the challenges to security
You
in
just said you
Africa.
wanted to explain it. That's what this moron just said. Let me explain some of the details. I don't want to go into it in detail. What? Man, listen,
But
get done with this moron.
Keith, he has said, I'm not gonna go into details because they are the same as in every African country. I mean, we know that every African country is facing the same situations. Why should he go to details? Whatever Mali, which they have
He just said he was gonna go. He just said he was gonna explain and go into detail. I'm not saying he had to, but he said I'm gonna go into detail, and he said I'm not gonna go into detail. Which one is it? Shit, make up your mind.
He's not gonna go into details.
All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Into the detail.
You are attacking my guy. I'm defending him.
Stop trying to defend this imbecile.
I'm defending him.
I think there are many. They vary from one country to another.
They vary from one country to another, exactly.
Some of the challenges to security in Africa are internal. Some are also external. In terms of the internal challenges, we know we have poverty, unemployment, terrorism, violent extremism, intercommunity violence.
Okay. What are you going to do with that? You have poverty. Why do you have poverty? You have unemployment. Why do you have unemployment? Okay. You already know the terrorism is the white man. Okay. Let's say what it is. The white Arab and the white European. That's your terrorist. Okay. And you got bootleg sellout niggas in the continent. That's it. Okay. Now what are the remedies? I want to give all these flowery speeches. What are the goddamn remedies? Tired of hearing these goofy speeches. What are the remedies? Go ahead. Talk all damn day. Don't do nothing. Stop talking. Do. Go ahead.
In terms of external, we know colonialism and neocolonialism and imperialism leads to instability and insecurity in Africa. The predation of natural resources is also one of the key points. I think in terms of impact and the challenges of security in Africa, Rwanda, and the issues we have gone through, especially the genocide, has not been made in Africa. I think the ideology itself has been imported, developed.
You pause this. That's the problem. You fucking moron. Pause that shit. Yeah, it ain't been made in Africa, and the motherfucker that's there giving you the conference is responsible for it. You fucking idiot. But you're sitting there and act like he's not culpable for that genocide. Trained at the CIA base in Leavenworth, Kansas. That's fucking Kagame. And shout out to everybody's finally calling this no good bastard out. But you sitting your punk ass up there, the genocide? Shut the fuck up. Tired of you weak ass niggas. Get back to Mali and shut the fuck up. Sitting there with the motherfucker that's with the damn Europeans who's creating colonialism that caused that genocide of African people. Fuck is you talking about? Just want to be at some conference talking stupid shit. Tired of you. It's got to be Africa. It's got to be cleansed from top to bottom. You motherfuckers are all got to get executed. 500 years of this shit. I think I probably lost Joe.
No, you took over my show. I'm letting you run.
500 years of this shit of imbeciles and morons. Run the goddamn richest continent on the planet into the dirt. The African people can't even feed themselves. Clothe themselves because of fucking morons. weak ass men talking stupid shit, talking diplomatic nonsense. But the genocide, we know wasn't internal. The motherfucker who brought you there is responsible for it, moron. You don't know?
Well, I think when I started this video, I gave a caution. I don't want to talk about Rwanda because we know a few details about.
How you know, Joe, but he don't know? How you know he don't know?
I know he knows. I know he knows. But of course, well, personally, I shared the video because I wanted to pick the positive side of the poor leadership and why we have all this, you know. But yes, some of the things he's saying about the genocide, of course, we know. Kagame knows better. Shout out to him. And the same people, the foreign policies, they do know what really happened in Congo. Only they can tell us what really happened in Congo, because there's no way this was an internal, you know, where we're just gonna start ethnical. Even in Kenya with the 2007 election, we didn't just Kikuyus and Luos didn't just fight.
No, they know. They push that together. They know that the African populations are imbeciles. They just say, they know they created those, they're poorly educated. They created those damn divisions, and then they enact. It's like lighting a fire on dry wood. Poof. They did that shit.
Yeah, so I don't believe that was ever internally, but history is gonna be revealing itself slowly by slowly.
No. He said external forces. He said the colonial forces, which is true, but backed by Kagame ass. You think this Kagame could never be no president of no fucking Rwanda, Jovi? They were never gonna vote for his ass. He's a minority. He was never gonna get voted in and be in those 25 fucking years or 30, whatever he's been in there.
You forgot he said people love him. You forgot he said people love him.
Yeah. People can't stand this criminal ass. Well, they love him. They love him. Why can't they even be on the internet, Jovi? They love him so much that they can't even be on the internet, Jovi.
Like Kagame flex, man. Kagame and his speeches with always another round of applause.
You can't find a Rwandan. I'll give anybody $100. Buy me a Rwandan podcast.
Well, in general, as we close up on that topic, as we get closer to winding up about what is happening in South Africa, what should we be expecting, and also what is happening in Haiti, where the Prime Minister who has been appointed. Well, connecting the video and Nigeria, and of course, what is happening in so many African countries, leadership. I think also globally, this is not even all about just Africa. Globally, right now, I think everyone is facing a hit on the cost of living, the economic crisis. And if I look at all this, we're talking about the people who rule not only Africa, but the rest of the world. So it is up to, but generally right now, because we're talking about Africa, it is up to us again as African people. What Keith is mentioning, the African men colonialism literally taking place in Africa on our very own watch, because our men can't even defend themselves. That needs to stop, because there's no way I'm divorcing your ass, trust me, and pardon my French. There's no way you're gonna be getting beat by a Chinese man, then you come call me babe. Are you crazy? Can you stand up as a man first? We spoke about that yesterday on the Black Kings frequency. Women, we love confidence. Men, confident, stand up on your feet, where you can stand up on your ground and say, I'm not taking this nonsense. Okay, you're not gonna be ruled around by anyone just taking orders. Where do you stand as a man to say no to this? That is what needs to happen.
You mean you're asking men to actually be men?
And this has to happen, number one, it can't happen if you still have a society of normalizing divorce. I've spoken about this, where I feel like the society is more weakened, especially from when you talk about men, because we're growing up with single moms or being raised by single parents in different ways. Men are being raised by single moms, where this woman, she has a talent of makeup or maybe installing wigs, and then you being the boy, being the child, they use you as an example. We see this, I see this on TikTok every single time I do TikTok, and it pisses me off. You know, you'll find a young boy having a wig on, the mother is, trying to install the wig. I'm like, what are you doing? a whole red wig or a whole green wig on a greenwich wig on you, you know. It is just it is crazy, man. So that has to stop. Number one, as African people globally, Black people, there's an agenda of weakening our society, our community, and the more we practice
How
this
about that?
flex,
How
you
about that?
know, the more they take advantage of actually weakening our men. This is why we see LGBTQs now being
Exactly.
you know, this becoming
Yeah.
a topic now should not be actually even amongst us as African people or Black people. This is, you need to stop that.
Yep.
Grow up your family, you know, for better, for worse. That is what I believe our great grandparents went through. There's nothing that you can't talk about. Fine, some people are not meant to get married. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But also raise your children upright. Don't let you as a man, your male child, to be raised by a woman who, you know, if you look at this one, she's gonna mess up this boy's life. So you as men, you need to become men.
That's honest. I hate to say, that's honest. That's honest. Whether you like it or not, that's honest.
Look at things from a very far angle. Like, if this woman has messed your life, you know, and you see their behavior already, you see the real character of who they are from what you meant, then, you know, take your boy, grow a co-parent, of course. Don't be disrespectful. You don't need to put in disrespect. You know, respect each other for the sake of the kid. And that's one thing I think I appreciate with my both parents. I may have a fucked up father, but I'm really, really glad, again, to my mom. She never threw any shade about this man to me. My dad, the same, never threw any shade until my mom passed away, you know, about her, you know. So I grew up with actually a very balanced relationship of understanding both parents of who I'm dealing with, who is the fucked up one as a child, you know, and that was very easy for me. And like,
you learn on your own, you said. Yes? I got you.
Yeah, so that is what I'm gonna say. As youths, again, because this, we're not gonna call out on our parents to expect them to help us revolution. It is up to people my age, you know, people the people who understand what is happening right now. If you can fight this war, because it's a war. Why people already declared a war on us? It's a war, you know, it's a war. So African people, wake up again, wake up, because it's a war. It's crazy how we think and how we see people fantasizing on, oh, what's the next movie, what's the next Netflix, what's the next. Nah, the world in reality, it's on a war. And to understand, I was watching this movie on Netflix.
Hollywood's actually dying. Someone name her. Hollywood's dying, Joe. Ain't nobody watching no damn. Hollywood's bombing at the bomb. There's too many people waking up. Hollywood ain't making no money. Go look. Say Hollywood in depression. Type that in Google right now. Nobody watching that shit.
How many?
Just type in Hollywood is in depression.
Oh, yeah,
nobody
watching the whole depression, but there's so many. We have too many cowards, kids. We have to say that, you know, we have too many cowards in this world, you know, especially within our very own community. To just be specific, white people understand what is happening.
That's why they're not watching movies. They do.
Are so asleep, you know, either on TikTok, either on Instagram, either on just whatever you're doing, you know.
Because they're only asleep, Joe, because of white imperialism, whether it be in America with slavery, Africa with colonialism. Because the colonial powers have turned African people into children. It's called infanticide. So they turn African man into a child. That's what you see. That's why they grow. You see, Ruth and them are grown children. That's why they're disrespected so hard. They smile, inappropriate smiling at shit. You're turned into a child. You're perpetually kept in a child state. Like you said, you're supposed to have control of your goddamn country. You're supposed to control your resources. You're supposed to control the stuff. But you don't think that because you've been turned as a child.
Mm-hmm. But of course, let me go through the comments quickly. I see we have Sipia in the house. Shout out to Sadat Prince. Good morning to you too. Shout out to Roman Mzales again. Shout out to Sinobia says, I am tired of all leaders need to force a strong military by recruiting young men from all the African countries and coming together as one. That is what Burkina Faso is doing. Ibrahim called on all the African.
He called everybody. Sure did. He sure did.
come join. You know, if you know you're capable, come. Feel free, come. And that is
It
what
sure
needs to
did.
happen. Novia also says that's right. One parent need not to disrespect the other. Yeah, that is what I've observed with parenting when it comes to co-parenting. Like one parent will become, especially the women, I'm sorry to say, it's just the truth. The women become so disrespectful, you know, they start demanding too much money, start using the kids now to get or
As a
extort money.
weapon. That's right.
Is
Yep.
wrong. Personally, I really, and again, if I say I grew up 10 years of my life not even knowing I have a dad, I'm being honest. I didn't know if I had a father. Trust me. Until I was 12, that's when I was introduced to my father. I'm like, oh, I have a father? Okay. And that's when the conversation started coming about because I've never had my mom talk anything negative about him. She's never told me until just one time I had paused my legs. This is how personally I stand. Like I don't know if it's an African thing, but we call it parking. Like you stand, then you park your legs. Like it's just a way of resting your legs. And then I remember she told me, "You're just standing like your father." I'm like, I didn't pay so much attention. I was just like, okay, whatever that is. Like, okay. I swear I didn't pay no. I didn't even bother asking too much if I have a father or because it was never a conversation on my ear all the time. So that is what I'm trying to say. Like respect one another, and even until our death, that is what I still saw. You know, respect all the way until she passed away. But anyway, as we get closer to Haiti,
we ain't gotta wind up that. We gotta wind up that fast because Irritan ain't even here.
I knew it. 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 I knew he's gonna come with that attack. You know, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not escaping this. But anyway, what is happening in Haiti? We have a new MP, and of course, personally, I have I post this because this is not going to make a change in Haiti. Even if we have a new prime minister, a new president, these are all installed puppets again to also continue with the destruction of the country and the destabilization of the country. But the UN development specialist, Gary Cornell.
You ever noticed, Shelby? You ever figured out now? Why is it always in these African countries everything's all fucked up? You figured that out? You figured that out? All these African countries got all these problems and shit because that's where all the wealth is at. Everybody's destabilized.
That's what that guy video was trying to say because he questioned actually something. Why is it that we don't see actually the UN peacekeepers going to Ukraine? We don't see them going to no one is talking about the UN troops going to Israel.
Exactly. It's only for the black countries,
Exactly. That is a question he posed there when he talked about security and the insecurity. Yeah. It is crazy. But the UN development specialist Gary Cornell was named Haiti's new prime minister. He's a UN development specialist.
UN, just say Captain Puppet.
a whole UN development specialist.
Thank God. You don't get no more crazier than that, boy. Wow.
But they're saying that this is nearly a month after the coalition within a fractured transition council sought to choose someone else for the position. The long-awaited move comes as gangs continue to terrorize the capital of Port-au-Prince and opening fire in once peaceful neighborhoods and using heavy machineries to demolish several police stations and prisons. And the council members, Louis Gerald Gilles, told the Associated Press that the 6 out of the 7 council members will with voting power choose Colonial, that is the UN development specialist, earlier as the you know, it is crazy because this is not gonna change a goddamn thing. Of course, especially this is actually where war declared now. You know, Kenya, where are the troops? We are waiting for them. That is actually now, like, it's gonna be rampage for our people. Like, it's gonna be super, super crazy.
Yeah, because you got exactly. Why would you have a puppet country, Kenya, bringing a government? Understand, family. Reason why you got problems in the streets in Haiti is because, like the Congo, they've been exploited, they've been stolen from, they've been kept impoverished, they've been given a bunch of religion, bunch of Jesus, and ain't nobody got no money. They giving them a bunch of Jesus, everybody's broke, fucked up, poor, robbed, as Joby told you. The Americans went in there, robbing, killing, stealing. Why do you think? Hey, and they put in their damn dictator, Papa Doc Dubois, and then their son, Baby Doc Dubois, just like in Africa. But they puppets in there. They have to steal all the goddamn money and wealth. And when the African people say something, they kill their ass until the country just overblows. That's what you got.
It's crazy. But again, we're discussing this on Monday, I think on Monday or Friday. And I've said this before. If you try look at this, if only we, especially as a people, especially we as Kenyans, citizens, if we can see what this is going to cause historically, this is actually where we're declaring a war with the Haitians. Because why is it rising on your fellow brothers and sisters? Like, what is that?
How they call them Haitians? You claim war with other African people. They're from Africa. So you're helping the white man keep other Africans in check who they have exploited. You understand that? It's like me coming to Kenya during the Revolutionary War with the Mama and trying to stop you guys from overthrowing the British. What? That's
Crazy.
what's going on.
It is crazy, and I think I had a video. Let me share this video where we saw Haitians were demonstrating. That was when Ruto went to the US.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah, the Haitians were demonstrating and they were so mad. And let me see if I can find the video. I had seen it just here. Okay, here it is. Let me share this screen. Share my screen very quickly. Yeah, they're calling actually.
We are here today to protest against what Ruto is about to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Why
do
you think it's a bad thing? It's a bad thing.
When you want to invade Haiti.
Yeah.
With
Still a slave.
That one U.S. occupation.
Power to the people.
That one U.S. occupation.
Power to the people.
That one Kenya occupation.
Power to the people.
I don't speak French. You translate, Jerry. I don't speak French.
It's not French actually. They even speak in English. They're calling Ruto a slave. Is a slave in the manner of where he's participating in slavery. And they're also saying they don't want Kenya occupation, power to the people. They don't want no US occupation, power to the people. And this is wrong, to see actually people begging for their lives, because this is what is actually happening right here. People are begging for their lives here. What Kenya is going to do is not helping. Kenya has been doing in DRC Congo has not helped. Our troops went to rape women there, and they were chased out. And then he's here when he's asked, why are you deploying people?
Because you're put there by the Europeans. You're not going to help any Africans. Kenya's a puppet state, Joe. Like Ghana, these are puppet states. You did it back what the white man wants you to do. You're not going to help.
It is crazy. So one of the things also that happened during this, to talk about the disrespect of African leaders and the disrespect they keep on getting and how they have allowed it. So I didn't know actually during Ruto's speech, the networks were cut off. Yeah?
I told you that. That's what I told you. I said he was talking. When first they let Joe Biden talk, then when Ruto came and talked, he left on his ass.
God damn.
Troops. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, the President of the Republic.
And so that is President Biden welcomes him to the White House. There will be a
Okay. My internet is acting up. Apologies. Damn. Okay, let's see.
That's what Rudo said. Damn, they left on me.
All Kenyan. God bless our
Oh,
partnership,
Kenyan.
and may God bless our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Distinguished guests, the President of the
And so that is President Ruto taking over the podium here as President Biden welcomes him to the White House. There will be used to call it 2 and 2. 2 questions aside at a press conference a little bit later today, which I know that then, Martha, you'll have on your show.
We're keeping an eye on the White House, where President Biden is speaking now with the president of Kenya as well, ahead of their joint press conference later today at state dinner tonight. We'll bring you any highlights from these remarks. But first, Donald Trump's case in the court of public opinion about President Biden just spoke.
Hey, good respect, I tell you.
That's how they do in the UN when you get to talk African word. Because they know you're a puppet. You got no power. And these African morons, like you said, they don't say nothing about being disrespected.
And if you see Ruto making demands right here in Kenya, oh my God, you see he's the Lord. The Lord, like you can't not listen to the Lord. Oh my God! If you see how people run up and
that's in a poor African country, Joe. But the rest of the world sees African leaders as morons and puppets. And you gonna sit and listen to a moronic puppet, Joby? No, they're not. You gonna show disrespect? You're like, what? Who's talking? Rudo. Man, it's lunchtime. Where you eating at? I'm gone. Listen to this motherfucker talk.
It is insane. But as we get closer to winding up, Keith, we have.
I know you want to watch it.
South.
They're gonna do it. And Tinubu gets there, they'll do the same shit. The Tinubu, same shit. They'll do the goddamn Gopi Dada Doodoo dumbass. All these African men are supposed to be disrespected and treated with disdain, Joby. And they never say nothing about it. They start. Go ahead.
It's crazy. So on this other end, we have South Africa, which of course is holding its election today. And the biggest question is, who's gonna be the next puppet?
Ramaphosa.
You think so? You think so?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Because I don't think
the elections are phony. So imagine this, Joe. And I'm being honest. I hate to be, and I love South Africa. South Africans are some of the dumbest Africans on the continent. The morons, right? Okay. We should be 100. You're a moron. You're talking your tribal shit, and I'm just keeping 100, Joe. We gotta say we know what their goddamn literacy levels are. They're morons. Okay, not my fault. I didn't make it that way. I just report the news, Joe. Don't get mad at me.
I get you.
So ANC has always been everything they've always known, and since that's all you've always known, that's when you're gonna vote again. It's your tribal thing. Even they ain't done shit for you, ain't helped you with shit. You're impoverished. They're corrupt as fuck. But you're gonna go out and you're gonna vote for them still, because you're too stupid, honestly, to connect the dots and make a change. Because you don't got the middle capacity, Joby. You don't know shit. You're a moron. So Ramaphosa is gonna win. That's why. You say, well, maybe the ANC. Remember you said what the ANC said, Joby? The ANC said we're gonna promise to do better. But you did this shit for 30 years. But we promised, Joby. So you've been a more. You said, yeah, they promised, Joby. You said, hey, man, they ain't did that in 30 years. You're like, Joby, didn't you get a promise? Give him a chance, Joby. Give him a chance.
No. They're like, no. So I'm looking forward to see if it's going to be Ramaphosa. That, of course, Julius Malema is not going to take this. Zuma is not going to take this.
South Africa goes to the polls on 29th May to elect new leaders.
Thanks to the country's growing importance on the global political scene, men will be watching the vote with keen interest. 4 parties are expected to dominate the race. So let's go over these parties and what they stand for. First up is the current ruling party, the African National Congress, or ANC. The ANC came to power in 1994 after a successive decades-long struggle against the apartheid system. Back then, Black South Africans had high hopes that the party would change their social and economic
and they ain't never done shit.
However, 30 years later, many feel let down. They accuse the ANC of failing to get to a significant drop party. An opinion poll by Afrobarometer suggests the ANC will get 39%. It will be the first time since 1994 that it got less than 50%, meaning it will have to go into a coalition. Next up is the Democratic Alliance, or DA, which is the country's second largest party. Afrobarometer polling predicts the DA will get just under 20%, down a notch from the 21% share it garnered last time around. The party has struggled to expand its support base beyond its traditional white and mixed race constituencies. Historically, it's opposed reforms that seek to address the legacy of apartheid-era policies that
They want to put your niggas back in apartheid. They own everything. They want to put your niggas back in apartheid. They want to reverse everything, and they own all the money. That's how wicked. But the ANC ain't never done shit. I done got rid of all you motherfuckers. All you gotta go. But they didn't do it because the African man's weak. Go ahead, Jovi.
Include the Employment Equity Amendment Act and the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Strategy, aimed to help groups that suffered systematic discrimination due to their race during the apartheid era. The DA is also opposed to the expropriation of land without compensation, a policy that aspires to address racially skewed land ownership imbalances. Currently, white people own more than 70% of the land, despite making up less than 10% of the population. The DA's opposition to these policies has alienated it from much of the majority Black population. The third horse in the electoral race is the Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, led by Julius
30
Malema,
years, Joe,
a former
but they ain't
member
took
of the
that
ANC,
land.
until his expulsion in 2012 for allegedly bringing the party into disrepute. He led the influential ANC Youth League. A year after his expulsion, Malema formed the EFF, a party which describes itself as Marxist, Lenin's Fanonian economic emancipation movement. The party is anchored in policies that seek to transform the country's economy in a fundamental way. It argues that the current economic structures are incapable of improving the lives of Black South Africans. The EFF has also adopted a Pan-African position. It believes that Africans across the continent and diaspora need to unite to rid Africa of neocolonialism. According to Afrobarometer, the EFF is likely to get between 10 and 15% of the vote. That's similar to the 10.8% it got in the previous election. The growth of the party has stagnated in recent years. Some have attributed this to its opposition to the growing tide of xenophobia in South Africa. This has pitted it against segments of the population that are against foreigners, especially African migrants. But the party insists it will not depart from its position on the issue. The fourth party to look out for is the newly formed Umkhonto weSizwe, or MK party, which according to Afrobarometer is expected to win at least 10% of the votes. MK is also a splinter from the ANC. The first of the party is Jacob Zuma, a decades-long ANC member who was also the ANC's leader and president of South Africa from 2009 to 2018. Zuma stepped down as...
Who did nothing for the people and still wants to come back. Look at this.
Yeah, because that's where the stealers at, Joe. But they never create shit. What are they gonna do? What can they ask them? What do these African leaders do, Joby? Outside of being they can't do nothing. Exactly.
Money and breaking laws, keeping the country in debt.
Exactly. I'm gonna be a leader because my people are stupid. I'm gonna be a leader so I get my lifestyle back, Joby. My lifestyle.
This is why we need our laws reformed and written by us, because whose laws allows an ex-president who did nothing for the people to vie again for another seat at a very old age? I mean, who allows this to happen?
They do that because, Joby, if you got an ignorant people, you know that. The people are ignorant. They don't know.
I'm not working because personally, even if I'm the dumbest person, Keith, personally, I don't know if because I grew up having questions on my head as much as I couldn't let them out loud because people look at you crazy. But why?
Because
a leader
Joby,
again,
because you came back with a soul. You came back with a soul of knowing, being raised by morons. Sorry, sorry. That's why you was asking questions, and they're like, what? Who? What? Hey? What?
This is
Who?
crazy. You can see South Africans tolerating this, understanding Zuma did nothing for them, literally. This is just so crazy to see that actually he's being given another chance to vie for another seat. It's just so disrespectful to the people, actually to the people
Yeah.
themselves. Because there's
The
no way
people
you
don't.
get nothing.
The people don't even know that's being disrespectful, but you do. That's people tell you, hey, Joby, shut up.
Wake up, man. You guys, you gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. Shout out to Tepo. Yeah, shout out to Tepo.
Simple.
He's always
And people tell Joby, hey, shut up. hey, this is disrespectful what he's doing, which is true. They'll tell Joby, hey, shut up. Be quiet. You talking about.
Literally, that's what majority will tell you. They know you know nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And now you won't find me actually bringing up a conversation anywhere, anyhow. Okay. I'm talking. The last time I went to do my nails and I tried to talk about Jesus, I was like, you an atheist? Huh? Are you an Anglican? What are you? I'm being questioned.
Because Joby, you're in a level that you're the real thing, Joby. You have been freed mentally in a field of imbeciles. That's how it is. I told you gonna be like that. You're like, wow.
There's no way I can say there's no Jesus. How do I get my shit working? How do I have a job? Okay? How do I have this
Yeah, but that's why Africa's conquered. You can't have a job. How do I get things moving? Some made up cracker ain't do it, but you can't tell them that because they have no sense of knowing any history. Right? You're raised in an environment of idiocy, of imbecility on purpose. They can't think that there's no white man named Jesus. How do I get to work? How do I get this?
I'm gonna on Friday after you do the thing, I'm gonna do my nails, and then I'm gonna bring up the same topic, and I wish I recorded. I was like, I wish I can record this and send it on the WhatsApp.
Why don't you record it then? You ain't gotta let them know they record it. Just push record on your thing in your pocket.
I will this Friday. I thought Friday or Saturday when I go to do my nails. So I'm gonna bring up the topic again. Like, hey, so you guys last time said you don't believe like there's no Jesus. I was told to shut the hell. You know, bring another conversation of TikTok, but not about Jesus. And when we started talking about TikTok, and they were okay, you know, imagine like
because the African mind is the African mind is captured, Joe, with nonsense. They can't even fathom what you're saying. It scares them. They're scared. You got a bunch of people that are scared, Joe. You got a bunch of people, Joe, that are adult children. The child is like in the mind. They're children. So it's hard to be an adult, Joe, but you being an adult amongst children. That's why you can go in the room and talk with white people. They can't. They look at white people and smile and thinking they're their master. You won't. You got a bunch of adult children, Joe. It's called the African mind has been put this definition for me, Joey. Say what is the definition of arrested development? The white man said we're gonna put their mind and say arrested development. Arrested development. Say what is the definition of arrested development?
Okay, let's see. A definition of arrested development is an abnormal state in which development has stopped prematurely, and
that's the African mind, Joe. That's the African mind, Joe. They said they're gonna do it. They did. That's the African mind. Premature, you're a child. So you sitting there talking with children, Joby. They look like adults, but in their mind, they're children.
Crazy. This is just so crazy and sad to see. It's our very own people, and sadly, it's true because I do bump into child-like-mind people every day. A whole grown-ass man. I'm not gonna lie.
I told you once you start knowing shit, Joby, because you know too much now. You're gonna start seeing, yes, but that's what they did. And instead of arrested development.
It's crazy. Especially the men on this road are just crazy. Oh my god, it's crazy. It is crazy, trust me. It is crazy.
Well, what happened, Joby? We're telling some of we got time shit. Tell us a story, damn it.
I'm hungry. I don't have time. We are hungry. No, it is. It's just when you bump into men on the road, especially. We've discussed this again on the Black Kings. Like and the child even told you, like, we'll be walking with us, like, and just you'll hear different kind of funny compliments, so you just like that. Did you just reason like that? Like, you just reason like that? You want to say that's your mindset? Like, that's how you think? Sometimes you're just left speechless. Even sometimes maybe when they make negative comments, instead of
ignorant cat calls.
Yeah, instead of answering, because normally I used to answer them back. I'm gonna be like, you got it. But I'm just gonna say something disgusting because I'm like, why do you have to make that compliment? But I came to realize actually I'm wasting too much energy on morons again. Too much energy. Like the moment there's a time I don't know I was going where I don't know what I was going to buy. I was going to buy lunch immediately after my show. I felt like eating githeri, beans and beans mixed with maize. It's called githeri and some avocado. So I went to get githeri and then I was coming back. Then these guys, I was looking good, and then I had like a mini skirt, a mini dress, a bubbly one, a princess type of dress. So they looked at my knees because they're still healing. Remember, I had an accident with the bike.
Oh, so yeah, the bike. Yeah, knees. Yeah.
Still have bruises. They had already healed at that time, but I still have the bruises. They're still visible. So these guys come and tell me, you cut walking and your knees are bruised. Can you go fast fix your knees? I'm like, what do you mean? Number one, that's how I walk, which is bothering you, number one. And secondly, wow, what's with my knees? Do you even know what happened? Do you really even understand what happened? But I was like, I don't have time to answer you back because that's too much energy for you not to actually even try understand why is
figure that. Yeah, I wouldn't even answer that. I'd have kept walking. Later, moron.
Much energy. I was just like, nah, I don't have time for this. And that is one thing I've been learning lately. Like, I don't have energy to respond to most of the things. I do what needs to be done at the right time. Whatever is not worth my energy, why? Like,
that's
you
smart.
stick to your mindset.
They didn't know the term moron. Say later, moron.
Man, I'm gonna say that later, moron. I'm gonna say that. But Jibba says this is bad because it will take generations to weed this foolishness out. But I bet it will. It is happening slowly by slowly. Let's not lose hope. Okay.
It's the youth are changing, but yeah. So imagine, yeah, it does. It's been a state of arrested development. But like the last 20 years, they did that on purpose. You can't rule a people unless you put them in a childlike state. So they put the African mind in arrested development. Right? So when you wake up, yeah, Joby already knew a lot, but she woke up within 2 years and knowing. So it happens quickly if you're given right information. Once you're given right information, the mind is a wonderful thing. It can adapt quickly if it's given right information. Sure. So I told you, I said, watch. You start knowing shit, Joby. You in Africa, you can be like, God damn, that's right.
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. I think that's even the reason why I've been single for quite some. It's been.
That's right. I told you that too. I said, Joby, I know you need to date Walter. I said, Joby, it's gonna be rough. You get a boyfriend. I said, why it's gonna be rough? Because you just know too much. You know too much how the world works. Man, they're gonna be intimidated by you. You ain't gonna be able to deal with insignificant topics. And just
It's 3 years of me being single, because I try give people chances. Actually, when you're in the talking stage, this like, nah, this one, nah. What's that nigga? Like, or block, I'm gonna block you or delete your number. So you're not gonna see if I exist. Texting me. I don't read your messages. You don't know what's really going on. So yeah. Like it's just many people. You can't really. The mindset is so gone. And then especially with my work offline, it's been super hard because I think that was last year at the beginning of the year. I tried getting into a relationship, but this guy couldn't understand why I have men all around the studio.
So you're
Why
gonna get
I
jealous.
have
Why you have men? Because you work with men.
yes, that was actually the first times when HR and Danny were coming, and then add my neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, remember that time I used to stick around with my neighbors so much. Like you
Yeah.
could find me playing soccer there, watching soccer there. It's
Soccer game.
mad.
Yeah, that was cool. They got
do this with you. I really can't. You're too insecure. And then I'm a male's people, man. I'm not a women's person. You expect me to find with a bunch of
It's
women?
not. It's not.
One.
It ain't gonna work.
One.
Yeah, you hang around. That's right. You hang around. You're more comfortable with men, Joby. So that's another thing. You gotta get through that comfortable with you being around men.
And then I get the conversations that I'll get into the conversation that will relate. I'm not gonna be all girly like You always take me like a woman and tell me everything actually relating to their relationships. I'm like, oh my, you did that? You really did that? Like, it's interesting. Rather than sitting with women and gossiping for nothing. Talking about people and all that.
Yeah, men don't like that either. It's because understand this is if you're smart. It says, what's that term? How's it go? Smart people. Some people talk about people. Smart people talk. How's it go? Damn, how's that quote go? Shit. Some people talk and sit around and talk about people. Semi-smart people sit around and discuss. I don't know. It'll come back to me when we get done with the damn show.
It's okay. Jiba also says, Joby, that's how you think and talk when you watch porn all day. God damn, it's crazy. Shout out to our people. They're messed up mentally. He also says, go fix your knees. Somehow, yeah, that they want to tap down your energy. I know, literally, because I was like mad for a minute, and then I looked at them.
You mad about that?
Not like because the way they say it, let me tell you, people are sarcastic. This is how you're gonna say something. And I'm not paying it, but you kept walking and your knees are all bruised, and then they're shouting and they're welding people. I'm like, bro, that's why you actually a welder. I'm not lying. That's why you're there. You have to be literally covering your eyes all day because of the electricity in your eye. It's crazy. And Sylvia says that, the mind can be terrible thinking to taste also. Well, whatever they did think, that's crazy. But Jabba says, yep, your bullshit meter is on 10, Joby. I don't tolerate none. Trust me, I don't. I don't. I'm really I believe I'm such a kind person and a good person, but until I'm not, okay? I believe everyone has their side.
That's right. And Kim, she's a good person. She's a good person until she tells you get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'll check you so bad and that terrifies so many people apart. Like, when I get on my character, like my real character, no smiling with you, I'm being real. I kind of feel it pushes people away from me, which is not bad because if you can't handle it, then that's your problem. You're weak. I'm so sorry. I had to learn from that was 2 years ago to grow a thick skin after Tsepo. So that's other people have to grow thick skins. You have to grow a thick skin literally.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, and shout out to also. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But anyway, family, wrap it up here. Thank you so much to everyone who's with us right here this morning. So many of you. God. I'm so glad to be seeing you every morning this way.
Where you gonna eat at?
I don't know what I'm gonna eat actually. I'm not sure. I feel like eating masala. Masala. Let me show you guys masala.
Okay. That's
Like
it.
eating masala.
Jemima not cooking today?
Nah. She
Okay.
cooked. She ate some rice and cooked yesterday here, and I don't feel like
Okay.
eating rice anymore. Yeah. Chips masala. Nah, chips
What's wrong,
masala.
masala?
Chips masala. Yeah, this is what I feel like eating, and maybe some fresh mango juice. That one.
Mango juice, I go. I can't see it yet. It ain't showed up yet.
Oh, okay.
There we go. There it is. What is that?
Chips masala.
Just masala. What's like potatoes? Potatoes or something?
Yeah, it's like fried. It's fries, but with like sauce in it, like lots bunches of sauce,
All right.
coriander. Yeah,
That looks pretty good.
yeah, it's nice. It's yummy. It's yummy. Just for $1, some few cents.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds too cheap. I like. Is the place clean? Is the place clean? Damn it.
Very clean. Very clean.
Okay. You got on me about $1 bill, and I had nothing to do with that shit. That was Spike. No good.
Yeah, but I'm not eating ugali. I'll eat ugali probably tonight because I didn't eat ugali yesterday. So yeah, tonight
Oh,
let's try
damn.
it. Yeah. But anyway, much love. Have yourselves an amazing day, you guys. See you
What's
on
up, family?
the bond. She's called in sick. She's not feeling well. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Thank you so much to Sinovia, John
Sound like
Mosquito.
the same shit with Katie. Sound like the Indians whipping somebody's ass. Watch
Shout out to
out.
Sister Michelle. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Mzale. Shout out to, we don't know what Keith is talking about. Shout out to
You said
Zanga.
Joe, didn't even try to answer me. That Indian is whipping some ass.
See you guys later. See you guys later.
Sit down and wait. My lead head on a rev. I know you be messaging Michael, but I'll never be spiteful. Long time no see, and it's definitely my fault. Just posted a pic, want some, let me remind you. You don't wanna admit, you still wanna let me inside. You know you've been missed. When the text says, hey, nigga, who are you with? Withhold information unless they're with it. I ain't seen you in a minute. I would've shown you an hour before, but you can't get a